This episode brought to you by MeepleRealty.com, your source for high-quality custom board game inserts. Meeple Realty, think inside the box. Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we're bringing you a card close-up for the others. We're going to go through every single card and cardboard hero piece, the villains, the corrupted, every card in the game, so you can see exactly what it is you're getting, because a lot of times the cards are the ones that you don't see them beforehand. So here's your opportunity. If you want to go to a specific type of card, down in the description below you can click on the timestamps. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Here we go. Alright, let's start with the heroes. Now we're going to start here with our leader, Leia, or Leah maybe. You can see that she has 3 attack, 3 skill, and 1 defense. She is a ranged attacker, and her ability is Perilous Research. At the start of your first turn, each round give any hero an extra turn token. That is a fantastic ability. You need to make sure you remember to use it though, because it has to be at the start of your first turn each round. So if you can remember to use that though when she's out, you can really start to make some headway pretty quickly. Then we've got Thorley, who is a bruiser, and he has 4 attack, 2 skill, and 3 defense, and his ability is called Protector. When another friendly hero in your space gets in a fight, Thorley may cancel 1 wound to that hero. Our other bruiser is Morgana. She has 3 attack, 2 skill, and 2 defense, and vampiric regeneration. Heal 1 of your wounds at the end of your turn. Here we've got our first shooter, Rocco. He's got 2 attack, 2 skill, 2 defense. He is a ranged attacker, as you might have guessed, since he's a shooter. His ability, though, is Kill Shot. Gain 2 hits whenever you start a ranged fight. All right, and then next up we have our other shooter, Brad. He's got 2 attack, 3 skill, 1 defense, and he is, of course, ranged again since he's a shooter. Demolitions is his ability. At the end of your turn, you may destroy 1 Acolyte or Abomination in your space. Then take 1 Corruption and place 1 fire token in that space. So he is blowing monsters up. And now here's our first fixer, Rose. She's 2 attack, 4 skill, 1 defense, and she has the mind control ability. At the end of your turn, you may choose 1 Acolyte or Abomination anywhere on the board and and teleport it 1 space away. And finally, we have Carl, another fixer, 2 attack, 4 defense, and 1 defense, just like Rose, but he has this shapeshift ability. At the start of your turn, you may switch to wolf form. As a human, you gain -1 corruption to all your fight rolls, and when you switch into the wolf version of Carl, here you go, you now have 4 attack, 0 skill, and 2 defense, umbral speed. At the start of your turn, you may switch to human form. As a wolf, you may move an additional space. All right, and then let's take a look at the powers of the 3 different corrupted humans that are in the game. First, we've got the corrupted hobo. Once per round, summon a dead hobo to join a non-ranged fight before dice are rolled. Current hero chooses one of his upgrade cards and turns it face down until the end of the round. And of course, 2 attack, 2 defense. All these have 2 attack, 2 defense. The corrupted doctor. Once per round, summon a dead doctor to join a non-ranged fight before dice are rolled. Mark the current hero, who may not heal wounds until the next round. And then corrupted nun. Once per round, summon a dead nun to join a non-ranged fight before dice are rolled. Then replace 1 of the city actions in that district with a corruption token. Now, if the Sins players playing as Sloth, they have the slow, well, let's take a look at their abominations. 3 attack, 3 defense, their controller, 4 attack, 4 defense, and the avatar, 7 attack, 7 defense, which I believe is the same, yes, for Pride as well. This is really the difference here. Slows down heroes is the power of Sloth. Heroes that start a fight are marked until the end of the round. Marked heroes move 1 fewer space per turn, minimum of 1. A hero may take 1 wound to ignore this for a turn. And then Pride has the Beware Lone Heroes ability. When a hero fights alone, ignore 1 defense. Next up, we've got the upgrade cards. Here we've got Inner Mastery. At the start of your turn, you may raise or lower your corruption by 1. Another ability is Regeneration. Heal 1 wound at the start of your turn. Brutality. Gain a hit during fights. And now let's take a look at the armor and the upgrades. Hazmat Suit cancels 1 success from fire or corruption token rolls. And there's 2 of those in the deck. Kevlar Suit, +2 defense. Stealth Suit, you take no wounds when leaving a space with monsters. Riot Shield, +1 defense. Moving on to Cyberware, we've got Cyber Legs. You can move 3 spaces per turn instead of 2. Adrenoware, +1 die to skill rolls. And then we've got items now, the Ravencore Eye in the Sky, +1 die to all rolls if you're alone. And Holy Water, after you finish moving, you may teleport 1 Acolyte or Abomination in your space to 1 space away. Moving on to weapons. The Railgun, you gain ranged. +1 die if you already have ranged. And there are 2 of those in the deck. Ice Blade, +1 die and +1 defense in fights in your space. So keep in mind, that means anybody in your space that gets involved in a fight will get +1 die, +1 defense. And there's 2 of those. And then we've got the Seeker Grenades. At the start of your turn, you may destroy 1 Acolyte in your space. And the Flamethrower, +2 die while fighting 2 or more monsters in your space. Next up, we've got the Sin Cards for Pride. We've got Price of Hubris, start of a fight. If a hero is alone, he must destroy an upgrade or take 1 wound. For a Master, start of a fight. If you wound or corrupt the hero during this fight, draw 2 Sin Cards. Pride or Fear, after controller wounds hero, teleport the hero up to 2 spaces away. Evil Regroup, start of hero turn, move up to 2 monsters 1 space each. Curse of Ego, start of hero turn, draw a Sin card and gain a reaction token for each lone hero, unless heroes collectively take 4 corruption. Alone in the Dark, start of hero turn. If hero is alone, he takes 1 corruption and you gain 1 reaction token. Primal Conceit, start of a fight, teleport the avatar anywhere unless each lone hero takes 2 corruption. Abominable Fury, start of a fight, each abomination in this fight gains a hit. Hate, start of first hero turn, place this card in any space with an altar. If you end the round with 3 or more monsters there, raise the Apocalypse track by 1. Damned if you do, start of hero turn. Hero chooses to take 2 wounds, or you turn 1 of his upgrades face down until the end of the round. And Cursed Fate. Oh no, we got one more after it. Cursed Fate. After die rolls, cancel the results of all rolls. Both you and the current hero roll again. And finally, Haphophobia, I'm guessing. Start of hero turn. Teleport this hero 1 space away. Next up, we've got the Sin Cards for Sloth. Sleep Dust. After controller wounds a hero, gain 2 reaction tokens. Evil Regroup. Start of hero turn. Move up to 2 monsters 1 space each. Punish the Idol. Start of hero turn. Until the end of round, heroes that move out of a space with abominations take 2 wounds instead of 1. Cursed Fate. After die rolls, cancel the results of all rolls. Both you and the current hero roll again. Slouch in the Dark. Start of hero turn. Move up to 3 monsters 1 space each. For our Master. Start of fight. If you wound or corrupt the hero during this fight, draw 2 Sin cards. Abominable Fury. Start of fight. Each abomination in this fight gains a hit. Hate. Start of first hero's turn. Place this card in any space with an altar. If you end the round with 3 or more monsters there, raise the Apocalypse track by 1. Primal Lethargy. Before Avatar fights, both hero and Sin's player lose 2 dice for this fight. Curse of the Crawl. Start of hero turn. The current hero can't move unless the heroes collectively take 3 wounds. Damned if you do. Start of hero turn. Hero chooses to take 2 wounds, or you turn one of his upgrades face down until the end of the turn. Slouching towards Bethlehem. After an abomination is destroyed, current hero takes 2 corruption. Next up, we've got these Dark Past cards, which are only used in corruption stories. And I actually have not played a corruption story yet, so I'm going to be seeing these for the first time as we go through them. And also, these are labeled 1 through 7, with 1 being the least damaging or the best one for you to have, I suppose, and 7 being the worst. So let's see how this goes. Number 1 is Clear Conscience, no effect. Number 2, Slightly Troubled, hero takes 1 wound. Number 3, The Guilty One, raise Apocalypse track by 1. Number 4, Former Hell Club, hero chooses, take 3 wounds or 3 corruption. Psychopathy Trigger, Psychopathy, sure. This is number 5, hero wounds self and all other heroes in same or adjacent spaces by 2. Number 6, Suicide Pact, hero is killed at the end of the round. And number 7, the Tainted One. This hero joins the Sins player as a 5 attack, 5 defense monster. All right, the last thing we're going to look at are the Apocalypse cards. There is a different deck of Apocalypse cards for each version or each type of mission. We have right here the Corruption Mission Apocalypse card. So let's take a look at them. The Fog of Fate. Districts with any physical corruption tokens cannot be used for their city actions. Darkness Beckons. Raise the Apocalypse track by 1 at the end of each round for each hero and maximum corruption. Agony of the Unclean. Before rolling for corruption tokens, the Sins player may choose to treat them as fire tokens instead. Flay Unleashed. This is a Pain Daughter 4/4 or 4 attack, 4 defense. When revealed, summon Flay to an unblocked nest. Flay gains 2 attack in fights with heroes with corruption level 4 or higher. If Flay is defeated, removed from the game. That is one of the Hell Club members. Here we go with more Hell Club members. Gord and Vex Unleashed. They are Hate Spawn, 2 and 2. And I'm not going to read this part and this part because it's the exact same as before. I'll just read their ability to you. Heroes at corruption level 5 or higher cannot wound Gord and Vex. Marguerite Unleashed. She is a Soul Blighter, 4 and 4. And when the Sins player moves a monster, he may also move Marguerite 1 space. And then finally we have the Hellfire Curse. Each monster gets +1 defense during the Sin player's reaction. Now we've got the Apocalypse cards for the Redemption storylines, or the Redemption missions. Throne of Damnation. Acolytes and Abominations each gain +1 defense. Mantle of Skulls. Sins player gains 1 attack or 1 hit and 1 corruption in fights against heroes with innocent tokens attached. A Game of Souls. Whenever the Sins player adds a token to a space, all heroes in that space take 1 corruption. We've come for you. At the beginning of each round, the Sins player adds 1 nest token to each of 2 different districts. Gord and Vex Unleashed. Now, from mission to mission, and the different types of missions, they are slightly different. As you can see here, in the corruption missions, Gord and Vex are 2 and 2, whereas here they're 3 and 3, and their ability is different. So I'll go ahead and read that to you. When a fight with Gord and Vex begins, the Sins player may activate his Acolyte ability without marking it. Here, Dr. Gon Unleashed. He is a Soul Bender, 4 and 4. If Dr. Gon wounds a hero with an innocent, hero must take 1 extra wound or the innocent dies. And then Grin Unleashed, 5 and 5. At the start of a fight with any hero with an innocent, Grin deals that hero 1 wound. And finally, we have the Apocalypse cards for the Terror stories. Scurrying in the Dark. Monsters may move 1 extra space. Hellfire Mutation. Each Acolyte gains corruption in fights. Stab in the Dark. Each Abomination gains a hit in fights. Perpetual Inferno. The Sins player places an additional fire token at the start of each round. Dr. Gon Unleashed. This time he's 5 and 5. And he's known as the Immolated. Dr. Gun gains corruption while in a space with any fire or corruption tokens. Marguerite Unleashed, the Fire Queen, 4 and 4. If a hero is wounded in a fight with Marguerite, put a fire token in that space. And Grin Unleashed, 5 and 5. Grin gains a hit while in a space with any fire or corruption tokens. So there you go. That is all the cards, as well as some of the cardboard pieces that come in the game of the others. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. You can find me on Twitter @boredonlineboardoffline. If you want to help support the channel, click on the link below to purchase the others if you like what you saw. Until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.